Physical friction is often the first signal of aging. It's that morning stiffness that lingers long after you've woken up, or the split-second hesitation at the bottom of a flight of stairs before taking that first step. We are often told to dismiss this discomfort as normal wear and tear, a biological tax that we must pay for simply being over 40. But accepting joint pain as an inevitable life sentence leads to a flawed strategy. Instead of addressing the underlying mechanism, we settle for masking the symptoms. For most people, the default response to this friction is a steady intake of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs, like ibuprofen or aspirin. These offer temporary reprieve, but the long-term biological invoice is steep. Chronic reliance on these chemicals carries the documented risk of gastrointestinal bleeding, stomach ulcers, and renal failure. True relief requires moving further upstream. We need a way to target the body's actual biological alarm system, rather than just numbing the brain to the pain signals it receives. To protect our joints effectively, we must find a way to interrupt the inflammatory cascade at its molecular source. The root of joint inflammation is an enzyme called 5-LOX. Research shows 5-LOX levels naturally climb with age. This overabundance produces dangerous pro-inflammatory chemicals called leukotrienes. These leukotrienes act as destructive signals, triggering severe swelling and free radical damage that actively wears away joint cartilage. This is why standard NSAIDs often fail to stop the structural damage. They target different chemical pathways entirely, leaving the 5-LOX pathway free to continue degrading the joint. To stop the pain and save the cartilage, we need an intervention that can specifically bind to the 5-LOX enzyme and shut it down. This solution is found in Boswellia serrata, a tree that survives the harsh landscapes of India and North Africa by producing a unique defensive resin. This resin, widely known as frankincense, has been a staple of traditional Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for centuries, specifically for its ability to address severe inflammation. Modern clinical research has successfully isolated the resin's active medicinal compounds, boswellic acids. One specific acid, known as AKBA, perfectly fits into the 5-LOX enzyme. By binding to it, AKBA physically blocks the enzyme, halting the production of leukotrienes instantly. Boswellia does more than just offer temporary relief. It biochemically alters the environment of the joint, stopping the destructive inflammatory cascade at its molecular source. This chart shows the clinical impact of suppressing that 5-LOX pathway. In trials with osteoarthritis patients, Boswellia extracts resulted in a steep decline in pain scores and a measurable increase in physical function. Unlike a quick-acting ibuprofen pill, Boswellia must build up in the bloodstream over several weeks to effectively dampen chronic inflammation throughout the body. To amplify these effects, practitioners often look for botanical synergy by pairing Boswellia with other natural anti-inflammatories, such as turmeric and curcumin. Combining these compounds allows the body to simultaneously inhibit multiple inflammatory pathways, creating a compounding effect on the immune system. These combined botanicals offer a reduction in pain comparable to traditional NSAIDs, but without the catastrophic long-term risks to the gut and kidneys. However, the supplement market is largely unregulated. Consuming raw, unstandardized resin will not yield these results because the active compounds are not concentrated enough. To get the clinical benefit, you must look for a standardized extract that contains a minimum of 60% boswellic acids. Dosage is also precise. Because these compounds clear the system in about 6 hours, a dose of 100 to 250 milligrams is typically taken with the first meal, or spread out multiple times a day for more severe cases. There is also a critical absorption requirement. Boswellia is fat-soluble. To stabilize in a blood, it must be consumed with dietary fats, like olive oil or avocado. Finally, always look for third-party testing certifications, like NSF or USP on the bottle, to ensure there are no hidden contaminants, and consult with your doctor regarding potential interactions with prescriptions. By treating joint pain as a biological mechanism rather than an inevitable curse, we can utilize evidence-based tools to reclaim our mobility. Consult your healthcare provider and subscribe as we continue to explore the research behind healthy aging.